Hi, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I am setting up for the month of June in my hobonichi weeks, which is my main planner. These circular sticky notes are how I pre-plan or future plan depending on how you refer to it. I do not like to plan outside of the month because I find it when I already have planned out more than a month ahead, I tend to get anxiety from focusing on all that is going to happen instead of focusing on the current month or even the current week. This is why I prefer to set up the outline of the given weeks for the month, but wait until the weekend before to finish it up. To help not forget things, I use post-it notes like these yellow circle ones to write down events for the month, or ones from Daiso in the weekly section to write down an inbox for the week as I think about things I want to do. This helps eliminate the time that it takes to set up my planner every month or week since all the information is already ready for me. To put down sticker icons from Randy.plans, I am using these small tweezers I picked up from Amazon since it really does help with picking up and placing the stickers when they're so small, and this is especially helpful when I have acrylics on my nails. Using a Tombow dual brush pen in N52, I am highlighting the 16th of the month since I am not working that day as a reminder and to make this easier for me to reference in the future when I want to see when did I have company holidays or PTO. For June, I am using the same habit tracker as in May, which is what I am referring to for spacing as well as which habits I was tracking that month. I like to be able to see my habits both in a weekly view but also on this monthly view, which is why some of these are repeated in both views. The habits I am tracking this month are the same as May: filling out my pocket daily journal, filling out my hobonichi weeks, filling out my hobonichi cousin, reading, posting on Instagram, hitting at least 10k steps. I also want to note I only do one slash if I hit between 5k and under 10k. And lastly, caffeine to make sure I do skip some days in between to help prevent caffeine-induced migraines since I get them very easily. Now I am grabbing a Staedtler pigment liner in 05 from my Euroliku pen case to make the header to write down my main goals for the month. Since June starts on a Thursday, I am using the space from Monday to Tuesday to write them down. I am now switching over to the weekly section. Since the month of June is pretty sparse in events or appointments at the moment, I am only setting up the first week of June. A little side note, even though there are 3 days of May in this week, I consider part of June since the week contains more days in June than in May. Usually I will fill out at least a little bit of each week. However, for this month, it doesn't really make that much sense since I have a lot more flexibility with my free time post-work, so I plan to take more time each Sunday to fill out the rest of the weeklies and to help me focus on the current week to get things done and to try to prevent myself from pushing tasks out to the following week. For week 22, I am shading off Monday since it's a company-wide holiday with the same Tombow I used in the monthly. I also have a dentist appointment this week, as well as the Spanish Grand Prix for Formula 1 is this weekend. I do already have a page like from Daiso on Sunday since this is how I plan out when I will post my videos, and I tend to reuse them if they still have space to write something new, which is why this one has already been crossed out once. I am filming this the last weekend of June, so week 22 is only a few days away, so I am adding in more details than I usually would, like completing the habit tracker and filling out my weekly inbox, which I tend to reserve for the Sunday setup of my planner for the week ahead. I feel like recently I have not been the best at certain routines like my skincare or my sleep, so I wanted to add another habit tracker to work on these. This habit tracker is from Peanuts Planner Co. in pocket size, which I printed on cream tomato river paper I bought from Jet Pens last fall. I like the cream since it matches the color of both the Hobonichi Weeks paper as well as the Lotion paper. I do also have the white version of this tomato river paper for my Hobonichi cousin and Good Impressions insert. The habits I am tracking are my daily skincare steps to work on my consistency, since I have been skipping some steps on certain days, and I know that habit trackers help keep me accountable, and I'm able to see if there are patterns to the days that I miss so that I can fix this issue. I am also keeping track of when I am awake and go to bed, because while I am good about waking up and getting ready for bed around the same time, I want to work on consistently falling asleep and getting out of bed at the same time as well. This means that if I wake up at 6:45 but don't get out of bed until 7:30, there's a lot of time that is wasted in between that I want to help actually use to be more productive and do more of the things that I want to be accomplishing. A few other habits I'm tracking are hitting 10K steps, reading, spending 30 minutes in my notebooks, and posting on Instagram. Since this tracker is meant to just help me get back on track to build consistent routines and habits, I am not adding it to the weekly habit tracker in my Hobonichi Week, since I may not even keep this tracker at the end of the month. For now, I'm clipping it with a pointed page flag that came with a Good Impressions insert to hold the habit tracker on the inside cover. I am now flipping to the back of the Hobonichi Weeks of the notes section where I have my monthly dashboard. For June, some of my main focuses are to plan a trip for Thanksgiving, finish my iPhoto declutter, which I have been making a ton of progress on during the second half of May, and lastly is to work on my stationery collection, to organize it and to declutter it to really help keep my space more tidy. Then I am adding in some tasks I would like to complete this month but have yet to be assigned a given week or day. I tend to reference this list when I set up a new week, but I haven't been very consistent with that, so I added a Midori index clip in silver to the page so it's easier to reference this list throughout the month. If I don't end up using the rest of the page at the end of the month, I may glue in the Peanuts Planner Co. habit tracker I set up for June in here. As always, the pen I am using is a Pilot Vanishing Point in Extra Fine with Platinum Carbon ink, and I also use the Pilot Vanishing Point in Fine for whenever I want a thicker line for headers.